Welcome back to Factorio Space Age. My name is Nilaus and we are back here with our Megabase. You can see we are still flying around in our space casino. So it is Megabase time, and it's kind of funny because I'm working on the same kind of sciences in the masterclass and on the Megabase at the same time. So just having completed blue science in the masterclass, and then we're going to do blue science here in on the space casino. We have this amount of space and we want to make legendary blue science. Why do we make legendary blue science? Well, because it's fun. It's definitely not the most effective. I think it's way more effective to make it exactly like we did make it non-legendary. I just think it's fun to try to make legendary things on spaceships. So while we have that option, we're going to do it, and that's going to be what we do today. So we'll have sort of a new design for another spaceship that's going to be roaming, and then we can multiply the spaceship as much as we want to get to the Megabase level. So that sounds good. Then hit the like button, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. We're going to be having a lot of cool designs to work with here. The first thing we're going to be taking a look at is what we want, sort of getting a sense of it. I have set this up to be designed it at a scale of 60 legendary science per second, and that's probably too much because we need 45 red circuits per second, which is way too much. Like, this is going to be right. So I'm going to build it at this scale, but there's no way that it can keep up with this scale, because what we see is that we actually need for this one we need some, I don't know what this one is. Oh right, yeah, okay. This is 0.9 metallic asteroid chunks, but I also need quite a lot of the legendary coal, so that's a problem. But we have, since we need to now to make plastic, let's have a look at legendary plastic. Here, let's take a look at this. Legendary plastic, this one. Legendary plastic, luckily it has massive productivity. This is now at 300% productivity, and that means it is 1 inbound and 8 outbound plastic. But what's also important is that it needs petroleum gas. So we need to make petroleum, and there's no reason for us to make petroleum from legendary coal. We should make that from normal coal. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this line here and get it in somewhere, I don't know how far in, and then just kind of loop it back, so that we now have somewhere to draw on when we want to make a new design. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make a design for making petroleum, because we're going to need this petroleum anyway for feeding this part. So let's start with a petroleum. We're going to be making it sort of hovering around one of these builds. Let's see, actually it's just easier to do this. There you go. Alright, so we need, where is it? This one? And okay, it needs to go a little bit further away from this location. And it's these. And you're going to make, so we have the option of making cold liquefaction, which requires steam, which is annoying, or we have this, which requires sulfuric acid, which is annoying. This one with requiring sulfuric acid, then we kind of have to make the heavy oil into light oil, into petroleum, make the petroleum into sulfur, make the sulfur into sulfuric acid, just to keep it going. I don't really like it, so we're going to do this one, which means we need to get steam inbound, and the only way to make steam on steam here in orbit is actually by making it, let's see, with nuclear power. So that's interesting that we have to do that. Then we're going to get here. We're going to get this part. This needs coal inbound to get working, so we're going to get the coal recipe here. Not legendary. I have to remember that's not legendary, this one. I'm going to take it one back because we are going to take you maybe like this. Okay, so this one has to just go in here. Then we're going to get a recycling of that. So let's do this. That always has to be done. And we're going to get something where we can kickstart it there. And we actually just want it to be like this, which now sends a request in here, so that next time we get around to something, we are actually going to request it. Right, so this is the one that gets in, because this needs sulfur. So we need to get one of these, actually 2 of these, and that one and that one. And the stuff we need inbound here is, this is going to be carbon, and this is going to be sulfur. And we're going to switch this over to that, and this one over to that one. Cool. Does it make sense? So now we need to make sure that this is not filling up, what's it called? The carbonic asteroid crushing isn't filling up with carbon, so the carbon coming out of the advanced carbonic asteroid crushing can't get in. So I need to make sure that it's kind of blocked here. So that's going to be U, and this one will then have some kind of enable condition, such as this. When this one is less than whatever it needs to, the 5, for example. Let's do that, because 5 is what it needs to actually operate. Then you're welcome to set it in. Then I'm going to take these inbounds. That's going to be inbound here and inbound here. Good. And that's actually going to be what we want. This is as close as we can make it, because I'm going to need that coming out here again. Right, so now we need to deal with all of the residual here. And that's going to be some way of doing this. Let's take it like this. And that's going to be the heavy to light. Flip it around. You should just go in. And then I'm going to go, the light should be coming in here. And that will go over to something else. And I don't really care too much about using too many beacons for this. It's fine. The water is then the next part. So let's get a water box here. And let's get one of these right there. And this will change to this one. Nope, it will not change that because we don't need the calcite. So, again, coming in, and that goes into a location which just makes water here, inbound, and then we have U. There you go. That's probably fine. All right, this is not affected by the beacon, and neither is this, but at least we can do something like this. So now that's affected. This is too slow because there's no beacon, so we're going to get another beacon on the other side. Oh, this is the wrong one. It's the ice one. There we go. Yeah, good. So this is now making enough. How much? 300 if we get 250. Can we get 250? We could get 250. This one, it's not going to make that much coming out here, but it'll definitely be enough because I don't really need a lot of this here. So I just need you to go in and be, I don't know, maybe like this. Yeah. And then I need basically the same as this, except very much different. Here. I'm just going to check something. That is... that line is fine. It's fine. That's fine. Good. This one will now be the legendary version of the same thing. Because this will actually need to make legendary outbound. So I'm going to get it in here. And you're going to go in here. Everyone's happy. And that will go on a belt up here. Good. And this will now be how I get the calcite in. The sulfur, legendary sulfur, and legendary carbon inbound. However, the legendary sulfur is also used up here, and 15 are used up there. That's kind of a lot. Well, it is a lot, and there is no other way of making it aside from this if you want to make it legendary. And this one should be, oops, like this, and that one, and that one. There, perfect. So this is actually the plastic. We can get the plastic now, and that's going to be fine. Then let's go somewhere else and start on the actual build, because that's just a good place to make it. Let's start with making the blue, and we're just going to see how we get to what we want. There. This, and then get some beacons. Always need beacons for this build. Let's try to make a design such as this. There. What about you? You are at 15, so if I can multiply this. There we go. And multiply it again like this. Then I will have exactly what I need. There, 61. Good. So this is going to be the design. Then they need to get the electric engines in. The sulfur will be making directly from this part. And the red circuits will be made somewhere down here, because that's where we have the plastic. So the only thing I need to worry about, or the next thing I need to worry about, is how to get this inbound. That's totally not what I want. Here. And, oops, that has to be legendary. There we go. And further out. Because then I can now do here and here. And I can also get that on the other side, like this. And flip to this side. Right, so what do you need inbound? You need 3 things inbound, and one is the steel and then the 2 iron products. So what if you just do the iron products like this? There you go. The iron products are coming in here, 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 and here. And then the steel product is coming in here. That's good. There. Good. So steel in this belt and the iron gears and iron pipes in this belt. Then that's going to be fine. Then we just need some inputs and outputs. These have to be made with stacked output. Well, honestly, they don't need to make the stack output because they are each only producing 4. So it really doesn't need to do this. But hey, we like our stacks going. So we're going to do the stacked here. Then we're going to get the middle lane is going to be where we get all the stuff inbound. And that means we have some challenges here. This. Like that. And the input quantities here. 3 plus 1.2. That's easily enough for this one. Let's make that. And let's do the same thing here. And you can do that one, I guess. And then let's try to clean this up a little bit. Okay, this looks good. And let's take all of this, flip it, and go down here and smash it. Alright, so now we have inbound. This ends here. And these 2 will now go. And that will go up, I guess. Here. Somewhere up. And then we'll deal with that. Good. Let's get some lights. Not that we really need lights on board a spaceship, but hey, that's what we do. Okay, this is good. This is very good. This is very good. Now we have a few other things. There's all of the smelting thing we need to do, and there's all of the the red circuit down here we need. But let's do the smelting first, because the smelting will also require some iron and copper to pass by to become green circuits over here. Good. This part here will definitely... We need to find a way to do this. So... Oh, right. Another thing that I need is... I need to get this one out. Somehow. This has to go back. Because I'm going to need a nuclear reactor up here. The only way to make steam on... here in orbit, let's do this so you can see. The only way to make steam is with the boiler. That doesn't work here. Doesn't work. And the heat exchanger, it works. So the heat exchanger needs heat inbound. Heat can come from 2 different ways. It can come from a heating tower. Doesn't work. Or it can come from a nuclear reactor. So that is what we're going to do. Nuclear reactor is then the only option we have. And therefore we're going to make a nuclear reactor up here somehow. There we go. A little bit off. Okay, like this. And that's going to be inbound and outbound. And I'm just going to do this filter. Read the temperature. And this one's going to be enabled when the temperature is less than 600 degrees. We don't need to go all the time, we just need to go some of the time. There we go, it's heating up, it's going in here, the water is coming in and feeding in, and then I need this going backwards. Somewhere I need to figure out where that's gonna go in, and I guess it has to go... Yeah. Okay, we'll do this. We'll do this for now and then see if that works. Good. That goes in. This one will actually get started immediately because we did get... Did we not get some heavy oil in? No, we did not. Let's try that. There we go. Yes. So that's ready to start. This one is not working. Why is it not working? Because it doesn't have water. That's funny. We need water coming in I guess this should probably be a little bit further out, so I can do that one for water. There you go. And yeah, so water comes in. This is working. That's fine. This is fine. This is fine. This one's fine. It doesn't have steam. Why does it not have steam? Because it only gets steam when it goes above 500 degrees. Then that's when it converts to steam. Good. So that's the one. Then we're going to take the next one. This damn thing here, I can just move it a little bit down because I think I need it a little bit down. I'm going to get some kind of belt here that somehow... let's see. Let's get this. Let's roll it clockwise. Somehow, like this. And let's see, how far do I want to get it over here? I want this to be... I don't know. There's not really any good answer to this, but somewhere this is going to change, and then I'll have basically this thing here. Except you're going to be legendary and that. And then that's going to go out on stack and stack, and this stack will be the legendary carbon, and you will be the legendary sulfuric acid. There we go. And that's going to be... that goes in. And then with this build, I'm going to get an excess... And actually this one might need to go further over, because this actually has to go 2 places. That sucks. Because it both has to go into this belt here. Which means somewhere, oops. Somewhere along the lines it has to go in, and then the red circuit's down here. And then, yeah, so it goes in, and that is... But it doesn't take all of it. It only takes the lower side. Okay, so now the sulfur comes in on the lower side. Lower side gets split evenly. Some of it goes in here. Some of it moves on. That means we're going to get an excess of carbon over here. So we need actually to be able to throw away some carbon at this point. Definitely not like this here. And just throw it out. That means we need to monitor this belt here. This one will take only carbon. Legendary carbon, thank you. And then it'll be monitoring this belt for how much is on this belt. There we go. And if it's more than 100 of these, then throw it out. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. So if there's more than 100 on this belt, now there's another thing that looks a little bit suspicious. And that is the fact that it's so far over. Like, I really want this to be probably as close as possible. Like, maybe like this. Definitely not a good idea. I need to... Okay, we'll leave some room for this part. So let's do that now. That means down here, I'm going to get iron and copper on this belt, because I need that inbound. Is this even the right place? I think I can and should make this go further up. Yeah. Because you will then be... Yeah, okay. So this can go... It's a little bit further up. Oh, this can also go a little bit further down. Ooh. I'm saving 1 tile. That's important. Here. Saving 1 tile. There. Because now this line here means that I can take you and go even further up like this. And then that's going to go back. Oops, not like this. Yeah, and it's gonna go inbound. That's just gonna get 2 stackers, and they're gonna go here. These will be filtered, and let's also get... Good. I don't need this to be filtered, by the way. Just, I like it. And that's gonna be whenever it is less than 200,000. That's 200,000. There. So that's the return belt. Okay, we're getting something. The thing that I think I need the most is down here to make the red circuit, blue circuit, some kind of circuits here. Red circuit, legendary, and get some stack here. Let's see, that's gonna be like that, and like this. So this will be greens, legendary, and wire legendary. Good. So this should be what we want. And I am going to... It's a little unfortunate. We're going to get a ton of beacon or modules for this. Let's go over here. Alright, so modules. Let's just jam modules everywhere. Like that. Is that enough? 41, and I need 46. Or 45 actually. So this is not enough, so I'm going to need one more of these here. And there. All these are obviously way overstacked. But that's fine. Then I need you going in here, 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 and here, and here as well. Then I need plastic coming in. I can do this. And then the plastic is there and the plastic is there. That means you are going to be our plastic build. Like, again, this doesn't need a filter, but just so that we can see what it is. And this one will be the iron coming in on the side. But what about on this side? Then I'd have to do something like this to get the legendary copper out on one side. So it can go in here. Yes. Alright, so this is a pretty good little module. And we can build... I'm missing some output though. Here. We can't go any further out than this. So you are going to go up here and in. So when that's coming in, then I need output. That's going to be here and here. Is that... Oh, it's perfect. Cool. And that goes in and merges on the lower side. So this will be all of our red circuits going in. It would look so much nicer if they were sort of aligned with this line here. Good. Okay, this is good. So there's only one thing we're missing, and that's all of the smelting part. So what I need is I need steel on this belt. That's what we remembered. So let's try to get that sort of in here. Good. So that's steel. And we have a thing about steel. You can see up here. I am researching steel plate productivity now because that is also the default one. And I want this to 250 because when I make my normal here, I can only put two of these in here. Yeah, there you go. So that's only 50% productivity. But when I make steel, I can get it up to 300%. And that is nice. That is really nice to get that in here. Let me see. Did I actually calculate this correctly? That does not look correct. So if I want 15 steel, then I would by default need 5 times as many, but then I divide it by 4. That is no longer 50, but it is actually 8.75. Okay, that's a huge difference here. So that's like 19. Okay, this is really good. That means we need way less down here. Then I'm just going to adapt those numbers because that's really important because to get this one in just a few minutes. So now that's significantly less supporting iron-only ore in here. So that's what we're going to be looking at as well. So we need beacons. Let's get them beacons. That one, and we're going to have 2 of these making beacons. That should be fine. They are going to go up here and go in there. So that's solved that part. Then I'm going to get some iron builds. I'm going to do that here and get that out and there and there and there and there. That's going to be all of the iron part, and they're going to go in here, here, and so this iron, what does this do? This needs to go into the 2 steel builds. It needs to go into 2 other builds that I'm going to be building here. That will be the pipes, and it will be the gears. Legendary, thank you. And this is here. Then those 2 will go out on either side, merge in here, like one big happy family. That's gonna go in a smelter like that, and you're gonna go in here, and the other one goes in there. All right. So it kind of steals from these 2, and then whatever is left, because there will be something left. There has to be something left. Because that's going to go into that location, which will then be combined with the last one we need, which is going to be copper. Copper is really not going to need a lot, so that's not going to be a problem. This one is here and here. I wonder if I can just get something like this. Oh, it's perfect. There we go. And then I need you coming in. Let's see. I need this to be like this and like this. So you are going to be the combined here, legendary. And that means I'm going to get... I don't really need this to be stacked, but I'm still going to do it. That's going to be legendary copper. And then I'm also going to get legendary iron out here. And that goes like this and goes in, and this one will be prioritized on that side. Oh, we're actually missing some. And we are going to go back to... Oops. To actually get this inbound. And then I'm going to have this basically on the other side, like that. And, oh, right, there's a... These actually have to go a little bit one further up, because it's actually not... Oh. Yeah. And... flip there and there. Oh, these ones are not going to be correct. They need to be switched to legendary here. And same with you. Right, so this is working. That's going to get inbound. That's going to get inbound. All this seems to work, I think. Feels a little bit odd to do it this way. This looks symmetric, and I like that. So unfortunately, that just has to go in here. And you're going to go in, and then you're going to go out. That's going to go up here, and then that's going to go over to this location. Or we do this. There. Yes, I think that's looking fine. The one thing we do have, though, when we look at this is when we get this inbound, we're going to need to have... Let's see. We're going to need to have a condition here that controls it, because I both need some of these plates and some of... Oh, this one has to be that one. Yes. So we need some metallic, and I need some of this. But this is by far going to be used most, so I'm going to be mainly constraining the whole damn thing on here. So this one will be reading the whole network. No. This one will be constrained when I have less than, let's say, 50. You go. And this one will then monitor the whole loop around. But that means we still need some things for reprocessing. Here and here. Here. These are going to be reprocessing. They will be reprocessing the carbonic and reprocessing legendary. Legendary. Here. This. That's completely incorrect. There. There. Yes, that looks better. This will always work, and these just need to be speed modeled. Funny how that's... The other one, though, will not always work, because I still need to maintain some of these on the belt. So this will again be constrained by that one. And you're now going to be measuring on how many of these we have. If you have less than... No, if you have more than... 20? Yeah, 20. Then you can have this one operate. Sweet. I think we might be ready. So the funny thing now is everything is compacted that way instead of compacted towards this. It really doesn't matter. I think that everything is going to be working. So we need to make sure that we have everything coming in. These are coming in, and then we can get it started. This is an incredible amount of things that I just built out in one fell swoop. So unlikely that everything works smoothly in the first iteration. But let's give it a shot. This one is going to be going up until this is done. Is this even going to be fast enough? This is 22.5. You can of course need way more than that, but let's actually see if 22.5 is enough for this. 21. We need 21 and I have 22.5. That's brilliant. Brilliant. So this is fine. It will take some time before it fills up. And something is wrong, and that is this return belt is not actually returning. So let's operate this. Oh, that's not good. That's way overscaled, this one. Look at that. That's got way overscaled. But that doesn't matter. It'll gradually be converted. This one, is it actually working? Yeah, okay. 140 something. So that's definitely enough. Let's keep that flowing here. Good. So that's working. This one is stuck, and then it's just supplementing from the other side. We should be seeing that this combined one is the one that's going to be most busy. I also want to see it stack up, which it is. All this is working. And legendary here, these are got all it need. Yep, it got all need. All these are not set to legendary, so that's why nothing is working. There we go. Now that's set to legendary. Ooh, it's actually working. Wow. Yeah, okay, so this seems to be working as well. This is a combined belt. There we go, it goes above 100, and then it just ejects a little bit. Okay, it just monitors this belt. Oh, it just seemed kind of... Okay, well, there's always stacking something, and that's good. There we go. It's a little bit, it feels wasteful to throw this out, but there's nothing else we can use it for. Oof, this seems a little bit aggressive, doesn't it? Override stack size. Actually, maybe I just do this one instead. So it's less aggressive. Yeah, that's less aggressive. Much better. Yes, good. Alright, this is working, and we are just filling it up with legendary red, legendary blue signs, and then it goes back and forth. Now, here is the thing. This is using an incredible amount of products. Funny how it's... Oh yeah, it's barely getting anything. Oh, it's because this belt is actually really long. Maybe it would be better to take this part and move it closer to here, so that there's less of a double loop belt. I think I want to do that just because. Yeah, this definitely looks better right now, and even though it had to reprocess everything again, now there's a little bit of a gap here, which sort of signifies that this is for reprocessing, and the actual build, the blue circuit or blue science build, starts here. Now, of course, it has to reprocess because these lazy ones are not getting anything. Why are you not getting anything? Oh, because we lost that outbound here. And... There you go. And this one has been set to 200 now, because I do want to have something stacked up on this belt. Great. And it flows in. It merges to both sides. This one's good. It gets all that. It has the red circuits. It's glorious. Now we just need this one to work. There we go. Working. There. Yes. And unfortunately, it's getting a little bit stuck here, because it's more clumped up, but over time this will gradually be sort of spread out everywhere, and that's just going to be nice. And because this one will then activate and push out again. Let's see when it pushes out. There we go. Now it pushes out again here a little bit. There we go. Just put a little bit more on the belt here every time it passes by. Come on, do it, show it. There we go. It's passing by a little bit, and then we get some mixed crap on the belt, which will then be reprocessed here. Great. This is working. This is working. And every single one of these are working. We'd like to see this one stack up. And I'm going to call this complete. So this will be just running for a little bit. We're going to let it run for 10 minutes, then just see how it performs after 10 minutes. And so 10 minutes have passed, and we can check in. This is the situation with our storage. So clearly it is draining the storage, but it's not draining it that fast. So that means at some point in some hours we are not able to keep up with this rate. I've also done a little bit of difference because I wanted to run on 60 per second. So I figured, hey, if I want to run 60 per second, then let me just insert it as not stacked, because then it'll run at a very flat 60 per second. Very nice here, and no deviation, and I really like that. I think that's just a much nicer way of looking at it, instead of sort of having it produce a little bit more and then run out. So this is more it looks a little off this way, but on the other hand, hey, it gets us exactly 60 per second. I'm picking up here. Aside from that, it looks good, and we can just see how fast it uses from the drain to the storage. It just comes in sort of once in a while. It's not overly fast, which means it might be a little bit of a balance. I've also decided to try to fly between all the different planets and then sort of do a bigger loop before coming back to Novus. The reason is because I think that there are, or it looks like there are more chunks between Volcanus and Gleba and Fulgora, than there are between Novus and any of the planets. We can check that out here. It's basically, otherwise we'd be flying out to Volcanus or to Fulgora. But if we compare this line here, then we see this is the best one that goes up to 31, and then the yellow one is at 16 and 8. So it's 31, 16, and 8. Those are the numbers. And if I compare that to, for example, this one, then it's 25, which is obviously less, but it's also 25 for the carbonic, so it's more even. 25 plus 25 plus this one is on 7. So that is 57, while the other one, should have done these calculations. 31 plus 16 is, who knows what that is, 47 and 8. Okay, yeah, so 55. So it's about the same. It's actually about the same. Whatever. Then I just do this for just doing a nicer round trip and then doing a bigger batch. So that's it. It doesn't. It seems like it's pretty much the same. Then actually, now that I think of it, I would expect that it would be better to go here, because if we look at this line, not only does it have this amount of mediums, but it also has quite a lot of chunks just floating free, while the other stretches don't actually have a lot of chunks. Yeah, this one has some chunks, but it doesn't have nearly enough chunks comparatively. So this looks like a better graph, but it's actually just because this gun has a higher max value. So we get an awful amount of metallic chunks going just away from, just as we're going away from there. Okay, look. Is that what we're, is this line corresponding to this line? The distance we are from, yeah, it actually looks like it. So we can kind of see, okay, we get to the peak number of metallic chunks. That's fine. And there we go. So this is the final design. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find it useful. Maybe you can use it yourself in some other constellation. And we're going to continue with the next science up here on the space platform. That's probably going to be yellow, or it's going to be the space science. So thank you very much for watching. Remember, the blueprints are available to patron supporters, and also the save games. And I'm streaming this also once in a while on Twitch TV/Nilaus, so come drop by. Thank you for joining. Until next time, take care and stay effective.